audience members, please silence your cell phone and refrain from flash photography, texting, or using social media during the performance. For information about upcoming events, please visit us at mesacc.edu/arts. At this time, we would like to acknowledge and recognize that the land this college sits on is within the ancestral and traditional land boundaries of several tribal nations in Arizona. We are very fortunate to live and work in such an important and amazing place, and we ask all of you to consider the significance of this location. Thank you, and enjoy the performance.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and faculty. My name is Jamie Tate, and I'm the Paramedic Program Director here in the Health Sciences Department for Mesa Community College. I would like to welcome you to the 2025-2 Paramedicine Cohort Graduation Ceremony. We now would like to share a video your students have created that highlights their life over the past year. Their video is titled, Vault Packer.
Said, remember this moment in the back of my mind. The time we stood with our shaking hands, the crowds in stands went wild. We were the kings and the queens, and they read off our names. You danced like you knew our lives would never be the same. You held your head like a hero on a history book page. It was the end of a decade, but the start of an age. Long live the walls we crashed through, how the kingdom lights shine just for me and you. I was screaming, long live all the magic we made, and bring on all the pretenders. One day we will be remembered. I said, remember this feeling. I passed the pictures around of all the years that we stood there on the sidelines, wishing for right now. We are the kings and the queens. You traded your baseball cap for a crown. When they gave us our trophies, and we held them up for our town, and the cynics were outraged, screaming this is absurd. 'Cause for a moment a band of thieves in ripped up jeans got to rule the world. Long live the walls we crashed through, us into a goodbye. If you have children someday, when they point to the pictures, please tell them my name. Tell them how the crowds went wild. Tell them how I hope they shine. Long live the walls we crashed through. I had the time of my life with you. Long, long live the walls we crashed through. How the kingdom lights shine just for me and you. And I was screaming, long live all the magic we made, and bring on all the pretenders. I'm not afraid. Singing, long live all the mountains we moved. I had the time of my life fighting dragons with you. And long, long live that look on your face, and bring on all the pretenders. One day we will be remembered.
If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you. If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. Find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. If you're tossing and you're turning and you just can't fall asleep, I'll sing a song beside you. And if you ever forget how much you really mean to me, every day I will remind you. Oh, find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. You'll always have my shoulder when you cry. I'll never let go, never say goodbye. You know you can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. You can count on me 'cause I can count on you.
I watch the sun come up in every city, round the world, so young and so free. All those beautiful faces stay with me, deep in my heart, a strong memory. Now let's go back to that playground and remember when we raced but now I'm back where I can be me. Now let's go back to that playground and remember when we raced through the days just to blaze with our friends. Let's vibe out on good times with wine in our cups. We may be getting older, but we ain't ever growing up. We ain't never growing up. We ain't never growing up. Oh, 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 well. We ain't never, we may be getting older, but we ain't ever growing up.
like to start by saying thank you to all the friends and family here with us this evening to celebrate this amazing day. Thank you for supporting your student. Thank you for allowing us to share our knowledge and helping build the next generation of paramedics. To the students, paramedics of MCC Cohort 2025-2, thank you for doing what you said you would do in your interview. You made it. Congratulations. I would like to invite Dean Michael Voss to the podium to share a few words.
So, good evening, graduates, faculty, colleagues, family, friends. On behalf of Mesa Community College, welcome. We are glad that you are here to celebrate this remarkable group of graduates and the completion of one of the most demanding programs we offer. So I want to begin by recognizing the family, friends, and loved ones in the room. Although the graduates are the ones being honored today, none of them could have reached this moment alone. You endured the missed dinners, the interrupted plans, the countless hours they spent studying and practicing and kind of goofing off. And in many cases, you carried additional responsibilities so they could focus on becoming the clinicians we honor today. Graduates, please stand and take a moment to recognize those people out in the audience today. They helped carry you to this point. It's okay to wave. Okay. All right, you may be seated. So this is going to be awkward because the rest of this is directed at you, but you're behind me. So just listen up. I'm grateful for the opportunity to speak today. So I serve as the dean at Mesa Community College, but long before I became a college administrator, I was an EMT and paramedic. So about 22 years ago, I was sitting where you are now, preparing to enter a profession that would shape much of my life. I practiced full-time as a paramedic for approximately 5.5 years, and my EMS career spanned 17 years, starting first as a volunteer, then full-time, and then finally to do some part-time roles. So while I stand before you today as a dean, I am someone who understands at least part of what you've gone through, and perhaps what awaits you after this. So you are entering a rare and extraordinary profession. Very few people are given the privilege of witnessing both miracles and some of the greatest human tragedies. You will enter people's lives in what may be the best day they have experienced or the worst day they will ever endure. You will be invited into their homes. You will meet them in their bedrooms, kitchens, parking lots, highways, workplaces, schools, public spaces. You'll be entrusted with the care of children, parents, spouses, friends, and loved ones. You may be present when a child takes a first breath, when a heart beats again, or when a person receives another chance at life. You'll also be present when, despite your best efforts, the patient outcome cannot be changed. That is both a burden and a privilege of this profession. You have learned anatomy, physiology, pharmacology, cardiology, airway management, trauma care, and countless clinical skills. You've learned to make difficult decisions when time is short, emotions are high, and information is incomplete. Those skills are essential. But your patients will never know the grades you earned. They will not know whether you were the top of your class or whether you struggled through a particular exam. They will only know how you treated them. They will remember when you are calm while they are afraid. They will remember when you listen, when you protect their dignity and explain what's happening. They will remember you when you treat them as a person rather than a problem to be solved. So the professional qualities you've been asked to develop include integrity, compassion, accountability, respect, empathy, self-motivation, self-confidence, communication, teamwork, patient advocacy, and cultural competency. These are not secondary skills. They are the very core of the trust that is placed in you as a paramedic. So integrity matters because people are entrusting you with their privacy, their property, and the lives of those that they love most. Compassion matters because illness and injury create fear and vulnerability. Sometimes the most important thing you will provide will not be a medication or a procedure. It will be your presence, your reassurance, and your willingness to listen. Accountability matters because you will not always get everything right. The measure of a professional is not perfection. It's the willingness to take responsibility, accept feedback, learn, and improve. Respect matters in how you treat patients, families, partners, nurses, physicians, dispatchers, supervisors, and everyone else who shares the responsibility for patient care. And self-motivation matters because paramedicine is a profession of lifelong learning. Your patients cannot afford for you to let your knowledge or skills languish. Something you have not reviewed or performed in months may suddenly be required in a matter of seconds. You will be expected to recall your knowledge and apply your skills when the environment is loud, chaotic, dangerous, emotional, and uncertain. So that responsibility requires preparation, initiative, and most importantly, humility. So be confident, but remain humble. Know what you know. Recognize what you don't know. Ask for help when you need it. Listen to the experience of others. No one benefits from arrogance, and no one wants to work with a braggart. So paramedicine is not an individual sport. Nobody does this work alone. You'll be part of a team, and often you will be expected to lead that team. One of your primary responsibilities is to keep everyone safe, especially when the unknown is unfolding quickly before you. Everyone deserves to go home at the end of the shift to see their family. Yet, there are unseen and unexpected dangers in this profession. Some colleagues may be lost along the way. That too is a heavy burden to bear. Success in this profession requires clear communication. So continue to develop your skills to speak clearly, write coherently, listen actively, manage conflict, and adjust your communication to different people and different circumstances. Continue advancing your education as well. Your success and the success of this program will not be measured only by the certificate or degree you receive at Mesa Community College. It will be measured by what happens next. So we expect every one of you to pass your licensure examination and earn the privilege of practicing as a paramedic. Many of you will go on to earn bachelor's degrees. Some of you will earn master's degrees. A few of you will eventually earn doctoral degrees. You may become a field training officer, a supervisor, a chief, an educator, a researcher, a nurse, a physician, or leaders in roles that haven't even been invented yet. So we ask you to continue your education because each generation of paramedics should have more opportunities than the generation before it. We want you to have broader career pathways, better compensation, more meaningful leadership opportunities, and a greater voice in the systems that shape patient care. So your knowledge and your experience can influence policies, working conditions, advancement opportunities, and the way emergency medical services are delivered in the communities that you serve. So pursue those opportunities for your own growth, but also for the advancement of the profession. As you move forward, remember you have a responsibility to those who come after you. Mentor the new EMT. Support the paramedic student. Help the new employee find a place on the team. Share what you have learned. Correct people respectfully. Encourage them when they struggle. Prepare them to become even better than you are. Some of you should also come back to Mesa Community College. We need the next generation of EMT and paramedic educators. Your recent experience as students will allow you to connect with future cohorts in ways that those of us who completed our programs decades ago cannot do. You must also advocate for your patients. Some patients have families, resources, insurance, and strong support systems. Others will have no one. You will care for people who are poor, unhoused, isolated, addicted, frightened, and overlooked by society. You may encounter patients whose lives and choices are very different than your own. Do not allow bias, frustration, or fatigue to diminish another person's humanity. At some point in your career, you may be the only person standing between a vulnerable patient and a system that has repeatedly failed them. Use your voice. Protect their dignity. Advocate for the care they need. Now, I also want to speak about the importance of your mental health. We ask a lot of you. You will experience things that human beings were never intended to carry alone. There may be calls you remember the rest of your life. There may be faces, sounds, and moments that stay with you long after the shift has ended. There will be patients you save, patients you lose, and patients whose outcomes you may never know. So take care of yourselves and take care of one another. We need a profession where people can speak openly and honestly about how they're doing. Asking for help is not weakness. Talking about a difficult call is not a personal failure. Seeking counseling and peer support does not mean that you do not belong in this profession. Be the partner who notices when someone is struggling. Be the supervisor who creates space for an honest conversation. Be the friend who reaches out after a tough call. Today, some of you may be recognized for exceptional academic achievement. Others may be recognized for leadership and proficiency of your skills. Those honors are incredibly well-deserved. But every person in this graduating class has completed something extraordinary. From this day forward, you have the opportunities to create a butterfly effect. You may save a life, and that person may go on to raise a child, or support a family, or teach a student, or lead an organization, or serve the community. You may never see everything that happens just because you were present, prepared, and exercised your duty to act. Sometimes you'll know that you made a difference. Sometimes you'll never know. But many patients and families will remember when their world changed. You were there. And you will remember many of them too. So that's a privilege that you've earned and the responsibility you now carry. So graduates, remain curious, remain compassionate, continue learning, take responsibility for your actions, support your teams, advocate for your patients, care for your mental health and the well-being of your colleagues. And wherever your career takes you, practice in a way that brings credit to your family and to Mesa Community College and to the profession of paramedicine. So congratulations to each of you. We are proud of what you've accomplished, and we look forward to seeing what you will do next.
Thank you, Dean Voss. I would like to now welcome our Program Medical Director, Dr. Chip Finch.
Thank you, Jamie. And Dean Voss, great words. So some of the words that he shared, I'm going to kind of reinvent again because I think it's important. It's important to hear some of actually everything he said, and I'm going to just add a little bit to that as well for you guys that are about ready to graduate. So I almost feel like I need to be on the other side, so I'm talking to you guys. But to our families, friends, as well as to the faculty, thank you for being here today as well. Recognizing the graduating class of 25-2, today your transition ultimately is going to be now as a paramedic. So prior to today, it's always been a medic student. Now as your medical director, it's my honor to not only welcome you into the paramedicine arena, but really the whole entire healthcare team. So as an emergency physician, it's a privilege to serve. It's a privilege to be part of that team, and part of that team includes your hard work as well. So that's valued, and don't forget that. So the certificate or the patch, both of which you're going to get today, is something that you're not going to just get it and receive it. I would look at it as an opportunity to actually showcase the amount of work you did, which was a tremendous amount. It was exhausting, right? A lot of clinical shifts, a lot of clinical hours, grueling exams, but ultimately it prepared you to get out and take care of patients and their families within our community. So I would look at it as a trust that we need to do. It's a trust between you, it's a trust between the patients that you're caring for and the families. And I look at the trust by thinking about 4 pillars. And if we can just take these 4 pillars, and you remember them, because it's only 4. And the first pillar is going to be leadership. You heard a little bit about that already. Leadership in EMS, it doesn't require you to be a captain. It doesn't require you to be a fire chief, or for that matter, any high level. It requires you, yourself, to step back and just take a look at that chaotic scene. Take a moment when you get to that chaotic scene and identify how true clinical leadership means just mastering that fear, because that fear is going to be there. It's not going to be something simple. Oftentimes it'll be challenging. And what we want you to look at is that fear so you can actually command that space, command that room. You're going to be that calm person when someone else is having their worst nightmare, and it will happen. So we want you to speak with confidence. Sometimes it doesn't take much. You can be quiet with it, but you can be confident. Make decisive decisions, and always own the outcomes that you make. So that's number 1. So leadership is one pillar. Next one's going to be resilience. So this profession, as you already heard from Dean Voss, demands more than just your intellect. It's going to test your spirit. You're going to face many nights, as we already heard, that may be sleepless nights, maybe difficult calls, maybe opportunities that you may not be able to change. But resilience itself is not just absorbing that trauma, it's building your emotional infrastructure to process it, learning from your peers, from your crews, protecting your mental health, and remembering that a bad shift is not defining your worth, and it also doesn't necessarily always define your capacity. You define that. Okay? Third piece is teamwork. We heard about that. It's important. You are a part of the team. Not only are you a part of it, you're leading that team oftentimes, and it's pretty critical in the pre-hospital setting. I rely on what you do by the time you come to the emergency department and bring that patient and their families to me. So your job can't be done alone. Paramedicine's a team sport. We've heard about that already. Your partner, your crews, the nurses, the techs, others that Dean Voss mentioned are part of that team as well. Respect them and leave your ego in the station before you go. Work in the team, work as that team, communicate with that team, have a good attitude, and understand that resuscitation requires everybody together to make sure we're doing the best that we can for our patients. And then lastly is empathy. So your advanced skills, you've learned everything you need to learn. Not everybody's going to need a chest tube. Not everybody may need CPR. But what they need is you coming to them and realizing that you can listen. You can treat that individual as an individual, regardless of the needs. And you can look at that and treat them as dignity as you would want for the family members that you have as well. We've taught you that. I know the faculty have taught you that. And I think that's a pretty important piece. I always just remind you, you don't have to talk. You can just listen, because you know what, the patients are going to tell you what they want. And then lastly, I just want to make sure, as your medical director, I'm convinced, not only are you capable of moving forward, you're going to show some great stuff. So 30 years ago, I sat here at MCC and completed my EMT thinking I didn't really know where I was going to go. So the road's ahead of you. You have plenty of opportunity. Remember Mesa Community. I totally agree with what Dean Voss says, because that's where you start, but that's not necessarily where you're going to end. And so just remember that, and treat patients, treat people coming behind you just like you would want, because you're in the seat now. So congratulations. I'm confident your abilities to perform are going to be there. Your integrity is in good hands. The faculty is proud of you, and I just want to congratulate the graduates tonight, and I appreciate the families that are here as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Finch. I'm going to take a few moments and try and bring the last 12 months into perspective. Not only did our students do countless hours of lecture, lab, read hours and hours of program-related material, and hours of group study, personal study, but they were also required to meet our rigorous program benchmarks. Your students completed 10,253 combined field internship hours, 4,538 combined clinical hours. They completed 839 team leads. They made 4,322 patient contacts and administered 1,469 medications. They started a combined 1,318 IVs and performed 951 simulated intubations. Their workload was daunting, and they met that challenge with grace and dignity. Now, you all may be thinking to yourself, why would somebody willingly put themselves through all this? Well, the answer is that paramedicine is a calling. That term may sound cliche. In fact, we throw "it's a calling" around very loosely in this profession. But I can tell you with the utmost certainty, and from experience, this profession is about the call. Now, students, you may be thinking I'm talking about the calls that you're going to run out in the field. Well, not necessarily. A paramedic's responsibility is two things and two things only. One, ease the suffering of sick and injured. And two, do no further harm on our calls. And I believe this to be the most important aspect of our profession, and I believe that to my core. But that is not the call that I'm speaking of. The call is that voice inside you, that indescribable driving force that made you decide on a profession where you are in the service of easing the suffering of strangers. Why did you choose this path? It wasn't to get rich, and it better not be because you want to look cool in your brush pants and reflective vests. And I'm sure it's not because you wanted to spend many sleepless nights away from your family, eating a cold meal from whatever convenience store or fast food joint that happens to be open. No, I'm sure it's none of those. So it has to be the call. Now, I'm not a religious man, but I have my beliefs. And there's a Bible verse that's very applicable to EMS profession. Isaiah chapter 6, verse 8, and it says, "Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, 'Whom shall I send? And who will go for us?' And I said, 'Here I am, Lord. Send me.'" That, my friends, is the call. A call to a power bigger than yourself, a responsibility unlike anything you have ever experienced before. I want to congratulate you on a job well done. You all should be incredibly proud of yourselves. Everyone in this room is incredibly proud of you, and it has been my honor to be a part of your education. On behalf of Assistant Department Chair Michael Pennington, Department Chair Jen Fay, and the Mesa Community College faculty and staff, I want to welcome you all to the field no longer as students, but as peers. Congratulations, Cohort 2025-2. I'd now like to invite Mr. Chuck Bauer to the podium. We'd like to recognize recognize a few students and their outstanding academic achievements. The following students finished top of their class and finished within 2 percentage points of each other and were all in the running for Top Gun. Zach Dayton. Jennifer Lennon. Taylor Robertson. Ethan Wilson. Thanks, Chuck. All right, there are two things that are unique to our program: the expectation of the bar and the concept of the Top Gun. Now, as you know, Top Gun is one of the greatest movies to come out of the 80s. Please allow me to give you a brief history lesson. In 1986, I usually start with, there we were. In 1986, there was a movie that came out with a little unknown actor named Tom Cruise. The movie was about naval aviators battling to be the best. This movie, of course, was called Top Gun. So in this movie, our dreamboat Cruise, a naval aviator, competes to be the #1 pilot, or Top Gun. Fast forward to our current paramedic program. Just like in the movie where the aviators had to prove that they were the best of the best, our students were put to the same task. The Top Gun recipient had to show that they had the same characteristics as Maverick, that they show integrity, accountability, leadership, professionalism, empathy, and motivation. The Top Gun Award not only goes to the student with the highest GPA, but the Top Gun Award is also voted on by their peers and their instructors. It is my privilege to introduce your 2025-2 cohort Top Gun, Carly House.
It's an honor to be standing here today, and I'm incredibly grateful for the opportunity to speak on the behalf of such an incredible class. Before I begin, I'd like to acknowledge my fellow nominees once again: Zach Dayton, Ethan Wilson, Taylor Robinson, and Jennifer Lennon. It was a very close vote, and I think that speaks volumes about the respect this class has for each of you. I'd also like to thank our instructors, Jamie and Chuck, as well as all of our adjunct instructors, our families, our friends, and everyone who supported us along the way. None of us got here alone. When we walked into this program, we all came from different backgrounds. Some of us had years of experience, while others were just beginning our journey. We had different strengths, different fears, and different reasons for being here, but today we all stand in the same place. Today, we graduate as one class. That doesn't mean we're all the same. We each have our own stories, our own paths that brought us here. Some of us balanced full-time jobs, some sacrificed time with our families, and some of us questioned whether we were capable of making it through. We've all had our moments where we were exhausted, overwhelmed, frustrated, or ready to quit. We survived endless lectures, impossible exams, sleepless nights full of studying, and the challenge of balancing class, clinicals, and our personal lives. Along the way, we laughed together, leaned on one another, celebrated each other's successes, and reminded ourselves why we started whenever things got difficult. The truth is, none of us are standing here because this was easy. We're all here because we refuse to give up. Every person sitting in this graduating class is here for a reason. Whether you realize it yet or not, somewhere in your future there's a patient whose life will be different because you answered the call. There will be families who remember your kindness on the worst day of their lives, and strangers who may not know your name but will never forget that someone showed up when they needed them most. The patch we're about to wear isn't just proof that we passed tests or completed hours, it's a reminder of the responsibility we've accepted. It's a promise to continue learning, to stay humble, and to give our best to people who are trusting us during some of their hardest moments of their lives. As we leave today, our paths will begin to separate. Some of us will work in busy cities, others will serve small communities, some will continue their education, and others will begin careers we've dreamt about for years. Although we won't continue this journey together as classmates, we'll always be connected by what we experienced here. Years from now, we will each have our own stories, the calls we'll never forget, the patients who changed us, and the partners who became family, but we'll all be able to look back at this room and remember where it all began. To my classmates, it's been an honor to learn beside you. Thank you for the encouragement, the humor, the teamwork, and even the healthy competition that pushed us all to become better providers. Tomorrow, we'll each begin writing our own stories, but no matter where life takes us, we'll always share this incredible journey of paramedic school. Before I wrap up, I'd like to give a special shout out to Daniel Veal. Danny, thank you for always being a beacon of light throughout this program. No matter what we were facing, you brought positivity, encouragement, and a reason to smile. I truly believe every person in this class benefited from your attitude, and this experience wouldn't have been the same without you. To all my classmates, congratulations. We came into this program as strangers, and today we leave not only as future paramedics, but as a family. I'll always be proud to say I graduated alongside each and every one of you.
I'm going to deviate from the program slightly. If you're following along, you'll notice that our assistant chair, Mike Pennington, was supposed to deliver a special presentation. Unfortunately, he had to cancel last minute and he was unable to attend tonight. So when you got here, you were given a program, and in that program was a poem. The title of that poem is The Passing of the Patch. And the genesis of that poem goes back to the traditions and the beginnings of paramedic education and the paramedic profession. Back in the day, the paramedics would wear a paramedic patch on the right sleeve to signify their rank as paramedics. Now, we still wear the patch on our right sleeve. It's just silk screened rather than an actual patch. And back in that day, when the paramedic student graduated paramedic school and they became a certified paramedic, the old paramedic would tear the patch off their sleeve and pass it to the new paramedic to sew on their uniform. Here at MCC, we have our own tradition of passing of the patch. In addition to the certificates and the faculty gift that you all receive, every student will get their own patch that we pass to you all. I'm going to read the poem to you. Feel free to read along if you like. The Passing of the Patch. Questions there were many, patience we had plenty. Which is right? Is it wrong? Feeling like I didn't belong. You are very strong, helped me believe. Gain the knowledge I would need. You gave me strength to what's that word? Thank you. Come on, Mike, left me hanging. And help dispel my many fears. Saving lives, a destiny few can share. My mentor taught me to provide care. Comrades, that's what we are, but we shall always be brothers and sisters created a new family. Though life may carry me near and far, my skills no one can match, for I hold the memory of my mentor and the passing of the patch. I'd now like to invite Dr. Chip Finch, Chuck Bauer, and Dean Voss back to the podium. And now the time we've all been waiting for. We will hand out our certificates and patches. Daniel Beal. Thaddeus Bingham. Clarissa Campas. Zach Dayton. Morgan Disney. Logan Egnor. Robert Godoy. Tyler Hansen. Aiden Hatch. Carly House. Jennifer Lennon. Shay Lennon Chagoya. Amelie Lyerly. Larry Milek. Nick Reeder. Taylor Robertson. Cody Spradlin. Kylan Ward. Shay Williamson. Ethan Wilson. Zane Worthington. Joshua Zavala. Cohort 2025-2, please stand. Now, before we send you off into the real world, I would like to quote the great philosopher Yoda. We are what they grow beyond, meaning humility and the recognition that one's own growth and development is never truly complete, and that there is always more to learn and more to discover. In your career, never stop improving and never stop learning. Friends, faculty, distinguished guests, and dignitaries, it is my pleasure to give to you the Mesa Community College Paramedic Program 2025-2 graduating class.